and they're off. Mamilius was a little slow into stride. Amongst those that show decent pace is Satin Snake in the hooped colours and also Stockpile moving forward. Wider out Melly's Flyer in the red and white as Stockpile takes a keen grip. So does Impeach as they scuttle around the bend. And settling down, it's Gobi Sunset who has a narrow lead by half a length from Stockpile. Melly's Flyer is 3 wide on the outside of Impeach on the running rail and Jupiter Express, then Satin Snake. Mamilius is wide into the straight, just hanging to the left, and tracks at this stage the Green Man. So making their way round towards the halfway stage. Out in the lead, Gobi Sunset by a neck from Stockpile in the red cap, and Melly's Flyer towards the outside in red and white. Impeach and Jupiter Express are both just waiting as the cutaway will shortly emerge. Satin Snake pulled to the outside, then the Green Man and Mamilius. So 2 furlongs to travel. Gobi Sunset out in the lead, being pressed now by Jupiter Express, who's got the split with Impeach over on the far side. Melly's Flyer, the Green Man, is now making good progress amongst horses in the noseband. Impeach over on the far side and the Green Man, who's still finishing with purpose. And it's the Green Man for Kaya Fraser, who's moved through to take it up close home. The Green Man beats Impeach. Melly's Flyer is next. 4th, possibly Jupiter Express, just ahead of Gobi Sunset and Satin Snake.
Great to see Kaya Fraser in the winner's enclosure once again, riding the Green Man to a pretty emphatic success in the end. A horse who's always promised to deliver a fair bit, hasn't quite done that, but certainly did tonight.
Yeah, his last couple of starts he's just got a bit unlucky, but tonight he planned out well. He thrives off running in between the horses, so he used it to my advantage, and he just loved every bit of it.
Yeah, he certainly did. He seemed to come from quite some way back as well. Showed a lovely turn of foot.
Yeah, I was a bit further back than I expected to be, but all planned out well. Horse enjoyed it. He gave me a lovely ride, and we got the win in the end.
And as soon as he got rolling, he went past them like they were standing still.
Oh, exactly. I kind of got in front, and I thought I'd just stay here, and I just went on a bit more than I expected as well. But he's done it really well.
And Kai, I know you most from having ridden winners for Chris Wall, who's now retired. What are you up to these days?
I'm still riding out. I'm working for Harry Eustace now. That's all going well. I'm enjoying it. Happy to be there, and just looking for the season ahead.
Absolutely. And if you had some targets for that season ahead, what do you think they would be?
Well, main targets to have more rides, build a bit more connection for myself, and have more winners than last year, and just hopefully improve.
Well, top man has ridden the Green Man. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Kai.
And they're off and racing. Slow and awkward away was Athena's Kiss in the early stages. Amongst those that show pace is McLean House, but grabs hold as Linwood Lad just crosses over, and the early pace is not strong. Giant and wide out on the course, Quiz in the red cap, and it's Quiz who's pulling hard, who disputes the early leading with Giant. At the back of the field are coming together there between Native Beach and Churchill Rose, as both were racing freely. As Giant it is who has the lead from Quiz in second place. Linwood Lad races in third, just ahead of Nuthatch, who's in the yellow jacket, racing in fourth place. In fifth is McLean House as they begin to take the turn. Behind these we have Native Beach, who's on the inside of Darlow Pride. Grey Rosetta being ridden along, and the last two are Churchill Rose and at the back of the field the slow starting Athena's Kiss. Pace gradually picking up, but it's been steady to this point. Giant leads on straightening by about half a length from Quiz in second, then Linwood Lad. McLean House in fourth place, White Face towards the inside Native Beach, trying to improve on the inner with Nuthatch, and behind these Darlow Pride. Giant trying to kick on. McLean House angles for a run. Dashing towards the inside is Native Beach, and Linwood Lad is still there with a chance, and Nuthatch also trying to improve down the centre. McLean House has got to the lead on the outside of Giant and is travelling strongly. Nuthatch is trying to join in. The three previous winners ahead of Native Beach. McLean House wandering off a true line. Giant is straight and true. McLean House coming back as the line approaches. McLean House just got up there despite the wobble in the closing stages. Giant, and then right on their heels were Nuthatch and Native Beach, and they were clear from Linwood Lad, who headed home the rest.
Very well done to David Probert there with McLean House. A lovely effort that. I thought he was going to win by further than he eventually did.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is he just gets himself a little bit excited beforehand, and he got himself worked up today. But all he could do is do it in the way he's done it. He travelled very sweetly. Always had O'Sheen in my sights and felt as though he was always going to get on top at some point going up to the line. So I was pleased the way he grinded it out. Only really needed to kind of get out of him this last 100 yards just to make his mind up, but he's still inexperienced and he's learning what he's all about, and I'm sure he'll improve by stepping up to them all.
And the way he travels suggests that he's a pretty smart type, I think, going forward.
Yeah, I mean, he's always shown at home he's come forward from each run, so I'm sure that he'll take another big step forward from today, and I'm sure that he can start the year off in good style.
And further in time, do you think he'll get further?
Yeah, I think a mile is probably going to be more his trip.
And finally, Kangai in the next?
Yeah, coming off a break, Yard's in good form, so hopeful.
Top man, well done.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, David.
They're off. And Victory House, who jumped in the air in the stalls, jumped in the air coming out of them as well and gave them a couple of lengths. Olympic Quest is fastest into stride in company with Double Down and Colowan in the light green colours, just tracking the leader on the running rail. High Court Judge moves into fourth with Dee's Dream as Olympic Quest just tries to steady the pace down. Having missed the start, very keen amongst horses, Victory House has carted his way up into sixth, and at the early stages, Kangai is the back marker. So Olympic Quest dictating under John Fahey as they make their way towards the final 5 furlongs and preparing to turn out of the back straight. Olympic Quest has the lead. It's just over a length from Double Down and Colowan, who continue to race in second and third. Moving into the turn, High Court Judge Victory House is giving his rider a really torrid time. 3 wide round the bend on the outside of Dee's Dream. As continuing to improve Victory House, but covering some ground to do so, and Kangai remains the back marker. 3.5 furlongs to travel. Olympic Quest by half a length from Double Down in second. Colowan races in third with Victory House, then High Court Judge in the red sleeves, and the last two are Dee's Dream and Kangai on straightening. Still sitting quietly, John Fahey nursing Olympic Quest, has the lead as they approach the cutaway. Colowan in the light green colours, then towards the outside Double Down. High Court Judge now being asked for an effort as well. Olympic Quest with Colowan over on the far side. High Court Judge now has the split. Double Down is still there as well, but Olympic Quest still leads. Colowan about half a length down on the inside. Now both High Court Judge and Double Down coming with their efforts. Olympic Quest trying to hold them all off. High Court Judge down the centre of the racecourse. It's High Court Judge from Double Down, and High Court Judge for Ross Coakley will just, I think, hold on by about a head or so. Double Down got close as the line was closing. Just asked for the judge to confirm, with Colowan and Olympic Quest sharing a photo for third.
High Court Judge executes it perfectly under a well-timed ride from Ross Coakley. Ross, that was a nice performance from a horse who's clearly improving. Yeah,
exactly. I think his form on the Bear was actually, coming from Ireland, he had a good run in an Irish maiden in Leopardstown on his third start. So, when you look back at it, he has shown the ability at 2, and he strengthened on 3. He's starting off a nice mark, and he's getting his confidence, and Henry's bringing him along nice and gradually. So, look, I think he won today with a little bit up his sleeve, and we haven't gone overly quick, and it's turned into a bit of a dash up the straight. I think he'll be seen to better effect when he gets a truer run race to run at, but he's got the job done, and he's shown a good attitude in doing so. Yeah, he certainly has, and I noticed that you had to angle out at one stage. Double Down was trying to keep you in, but as soon as you got that clear passage and he was able to straighten up, I thought the turn of foot he showed was pretty powerful. Yeah, John Fahey was able to dictate things in front, and he's kind of kicked a couple of lengths as we straightened, and I just had to go through the gears gradually at my lad. It's important with them to do things smoothly. So as a result, we were always just kind of building into the straight, and at the cutaway, I just elected to angle left just to give him clear daylight and keep that kind of momentum going. And Sean Levy's come with me all the way, and he's probably helped my lad to a degree as well, because they've been competitive together. And as I said, I felt my lad, he was tough, but I think he won with a bit of authority, and hopefully he can keep progressing for the connections.
Well done, Ross.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And away they head. One more Ollie jumped left out of the stalls. Ridden vigorously on the outside is Full Prime in the lime green to go forward. Pending Appeal is another, and Phoenix Glow in the pale jacket. They're the first three, with in fourth place Selena's Star, orange colours with a big white face. Miss Moonshine is 3 wide into the turn. One more Ollie recovering amongst horses on the outside of Lady Wantaway as they move their way into the turn. In the Giving is towards the back of the pack early on with Angelic Divas. So settling down, and Pending Appeal has moved to the lead. That lead is a length over Full Prime in second and Phoenix Glow on the running rails in third. Fourth place, Selena's Star and one more Ollie. Lady Wantaway's drifted back to the next group, which is made up of Miss Moonshine. They collected something across the track there. Something definitely ran across the track. Hope it's okay as they make their way. It was a fox, I think, they collected at the 2 furlong pole. So out in the lead, Pending Appeal, who has the lead from Full Prime in second. One more Ollie is making ground towards the inside. Phoenix Glow, and now In the Giving is beginning to get going as well. One more Ollie surges now at Pending Appeal. Full Prime is still there, then In the Giving, and it's one more Ollie despite an errant start who has got on top close home. One more Ollie down the outside. In the Giving staying on to press for second, but one more Ollie. It is who's won. Very close for second between In the Giving on the outside of Full Prime. That'll go to the judge. Pending Appeal was next across the line, and Angelic Divas made a little bit of ground late on. And away they jump. Timusius Fox, one of those, and the green colours of Al Borken's rider looking over. Dubai Leader moving forward as they take a furlong or so just to settle down. Dubai Leader, quite keen in the silver colours, has moved to a narrow lead with Timusius Fox, and the Godolphin blue jacket of Mr. Inspiration is now making progress in company with Haku as they approach the winning line for the first time. Dubai Leader just a little fierce out in the lead, with Haku crossing over with Mr. Inspiration as Timusius Fox takes the trail, now in fourth place. Red Flyer on the outside of Al Borkan, with Demba on the running rail with Sword Beach Sky Defender. 2 lengths back to Iron Heart, and Party Island is last of all. Dubai Leader just trying to be steadied down by Joe Fanning, but still races a little keener than maybe he'd like. From in second place, Haku in the red and white. Timusius Fox is in third, and Mr. Inspiration now races in fourth place. Mr. Inspiration in the Godolphin blue. Half a length to Al Borkan as they pass the mile start, with Red Flyer Little Keen in sixth place. Demba races in seventh, just ahead of Sword Beach. 2 lengths back to Sky Defender, Party Island, and Iron Heart, who was briefly just bustled up at the back of the pack as they race towards the halfway stage. Dubai Leader with Haku 3/4 of a length away in second. Timusius Fox is third, with Mr. Inspiration racing in fourth. In fifth place, we have the green jacket of Al Borkan, who races just ahead of Red Flyer as they prepare to leave the back straight. Demba comes next with Sword Beach. Party Island moves up on the outside of Sky Defender, and Iron Heart is the back marker as they exit the back straight. Dubai Leader's been trying to get a breather in down that back straight. Still leads with Haku in second, breathing steam just behind the leader. Racing in third place, Timusius Fox as they continue to make the turn. Mr. Inspiration races in fourth, with Al Borkan in the green colours in fifth. Party Island is sweeping round the outside, 2/3 of the way back through the field, and Iron Heart is still just struggling to keep up. So now they begin to turn into the home straight, and Haku applies some pressure to Dubai Leader. Mr. Inspiration is ridden along. Timusius Fox coming there quite quite strongly between horses. Doesn't want to commit just yet, it seems. Then towards the inside is Al Borken. Tamusius Fox. Oisin Murphy can wait no longer. Red Flyer has moved through to dispute second with Haku. Sword Beach stays on from the back. Tamusius Fox it is, who's readily found 2 lengths over the rest of the field. Make that 3 or 4 from Haku, battling on with Red Flyer. Then Mr. Inspiration, Denver and Sword Beach. But Tamusius Fox has shown these a clean pair of heels and will win by 4 lengths, ease down for Oisin Murphy and Andrew Balding. Close for second between Haku and Red Flyer. Mr. Inspiration was next from Sword Beach. Not too many closing behind the ready winner.
Oisin Murphy alongside me. Goodness me, that was impressive aboard Tamusius Fox.
Yeah, really pleased. Andrew's horses are flying. Obviously McLean House won early on the card, and this fella's improved over the winter, and it's lovely to ride in these colours again. It's been a while.
Certainly has, yeah, and he's absolutely trounced them in the end. Travelled really strongly, and as soon as you ask for a little bit more effort, he's put many lengths between himself and the rest. Looks like a pretty smart horse in the making.
Hopefully. It was obviously a good spot for him. There weren't many horses that were unexposed. Most of them had shown their hand, and he hasn't had lots of racing with some really good efforts last year when he was second at Ascot behind Solcombe. That was a good effort, so we're hopeful he would do well this season, and he started off on the right note.
He certainly has. Gelding operation looks to have worked as well.
Yeah, I never rode him last year, but he didn't need to be a colt, so it made sense to take them out, I suppose.
Yeah, things are going really well for you. Winners everywhere you look, every day almost. George Baker in the studio was just trying to take some credit for working with you on the simulator, but it's really all down to you, isn't it?
No, George actually was a massive help. I spent maybe three times a week over the course of maybe 10 weeks with him, and he really motivated me to get stuck in with the riding out, as did Andrew Balding, and also on the equisizer, using my stick and preparing properly for my return.
Great to see you back and riding so well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Oisin.
And they're off and racing. Madrino was a little slow into stride. Amongst those that show a little bit of early dash, so the pace isn't that strong early. Love Destiny and Eastern Star in the yellow and red have moved through to the lead, but several are taking keen holds, including the slow-starting Madrino on the outside of Twilight Revenge. So settling down, Eastern Star, keen herself, disputes the running with Love Destiny. Dropping onto the rails, Rainbow Side is in third early on. The pace is not strong. Swiss Row races in fourth place, just jostling for position Twilight Revenge on the outside of Dreams Delivered, who's in fifth place early on, as Eastern Star has upped the tempo and poached a 4-length lead with 4 furlongs to go. So Eastern Star leading from, in second place, Rainbow Sign. Third, a neck away is Love Destiny as they just begin to string out. Dreams Delivered being ridden along in fifth place at this stage with Swiss Row, Magic in the Making, Twilight Agenda, Madrino and Jolly's Flyer. Eastern Star not so far clear as they head with 2.5 furlongs to travel. In second place, Rainbow Sign. On the inside, Swiss Row travelling up strongly, switches to the inner. Dreams Delivered's now beginning to get going with Magic in the Making as well. Rainbow Sign still there, as out in the lead, Eastern Star, hassled by Swiss Row over on the outside. Dreams Delivered is trying to stay on now, and right down the outside, Magic in the Making. Swiss Row has got to the front. The lead is a length or so from Eastern Star and Dreams Delivered, and Swiss Row for Billy Loughnane is not stopping. Swiss Row it is who leads them home in the last from Dreams Delivered. Eastern Star was third, just ahead of Love Destiny, who comes home in fourth place.
Oh, who'd have thought plain old Tom Ball could do anything here, Ish? But there you go. I'm very delighted to be in third. I was in first, actually, for quite a few months in this competition, so don't really know what's happened there. Hopefully, Facile Vega can get me out of trouble at Cheltenham. But what a pleasure it has been to be here at Kempton tonight on the Friday Club. Some really good performances, I have to say, and I don't mean that lightly, because we saw a brilliant winner of our feature race, 0 to 85. Tumesius Fox was a sensational winner of the 8 o'clock, a horse who'd been gelded prior to his start tonight, had a hefty old break as well, but was well supported in the market, and duly obliged in sensational fashion. A very easy winner indeed. Asheen Murphy has really enjoyed himself since coming back to action, and he certainly didn't have to work too hard aboard Tumesius Fox to win tonight. Hopefully he can continue to go on to better things. Who knows if up in grade, but certainly he's one to keep an eye on, whether on the weather or on the turf going forward. I thought a really impressive performance came in the last race too. We just saw Swiss Row winning, and I think the first time visor and the addition of Billy Loughlin most certainly made a difference. He looked an improved performer. He'd been performing at Wolverhampton most recently on his last couple of 3 or 4 starts, but tonight it was much more like it here at Kempton. I think that headgear worked wonders, and he actually saw them off in pretty easy fashion in the end. I want to keep an eye on for the future. Second race, I should say, was McLean House, who, although looked like he might throw it away in the closing stages as Giant, came alongside. It was McLean House who was a winner last time at this track, pretty impressively. Looked like he was going to absolutely trounce them, but as soon as he was asked the question by David Probert, didn't really find much, and George Baker said in the studio it was probably down to the fact that he was a little bit keen early doors, and in the end he only just snaked home. I was actually told afterwards by Richard Hoyles that this is a horse who, when he goes out to work, has to be blindfolded. He's a little bit quirky, but he's certainly got plenty of talent, and I think he's worth following, particularly over a mile. Looks like it was stepped up from 7 furlongs in the near future. Elsewhere on the card, good performance from High Court Judge in the third race. Henry Spiller's really worked wonders on this horse. A very nice performance indeed, and he saw off the closing double down, but I think in actual fact it was never really in doubt from High Court Judge. Ross Coakley and Henry Spiller always had it in safekeeping as soon as they got that clear run through the pack. But a really fun night here at Kempton. A little bit cold, but I'm certainly not complaining, because 6 races have warmed the cockles and warmed the heart as well. So for me here at Kempton, it's roaring, signing off.